Hey listener, just a quick pre-show announcement. We're trying to reach 10,000 downloads and we need your help. What do you get out of it? A $100 Amazon gift card and a super stylish Zero If I Could t-shirt. To enter the giveaway, first follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Zero If I Could Podcast and share our most recent episode to your social media. For an additional entry, you can also rate us 5 stars on iTunes. Winner will be announced late May, so the more episodes you share, the more chances you have to win. Alright, let's start the show.
I'd give you 3 thumbs down to drag your name into the ground. And on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give you 0 if I could.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Zero If I Could, where comedians discuss absurd reviews. My name is Raul Zambrano.
I'm Brittany Hersbrun.
I'm Jake Disharoon.
And
I'm
with
Ryan
us is our
Shores.
guest. Hello, our guest, Ryan Shores. You're really one of 2 people who have, usually, people will wait, but you see, you take the initiative. I like that.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't want everyone awkwardly waiting for me. So, yeah, sorry about
You're like,
that.
I'm just going to go for it.
I
I
feel
just
like
feel-
I would do the same thing because I wouldn't want to risk sitting there being like,
Yeah. I don't want to seem like that first year comic like Ryan. Would you like to tell everyone your name right now? Would you like to pick up on a cue?
Well, it's just I like the people who have no faith in Raul. Like his skills as a host to bring somebody in, just non-existent.
anything,
Like
no,
I
if
better
anything-
take charge here.
That's the only thing I'm good at. All right, I can
I-
usually
It would-
say someone's name.
It would
You-
have been nice in the 2 minutes we had before you aired to go, hey Ryan, what we're gonna do is me, Brittany, and Jake are all gonna say our names, and then I'll introduce you. Would have been fantastic. Just a note for next time.
lesson learned, Raul, right?
But then we wouldn't have this, great moment that we're having. So
Oh yeah, this gold. Yeah.
It's funny because
that's true.
you never have, but like a small part of me, even when they're your friends, thinks you're going to forget the name of the person that you're introducing every time.
Always.
Pulling
Like, I've-
Owen Benjamin on him.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I guess now we have to tell that
baseball
story.
right there.
So when I was not even that new, but a decently
We're
new
like 3
comic.
years in, if I remember.
Yeah, it was not
Well,
new.
I mean, I was
Also-
like 2 years in, I think. I
Also,
believe.
I just want to say, you having done stand-up has no impact on your ability to remember a person's name.
Yes.
Or
That is
write
that's
it
not a
down.
learned skill.
Okay,
Go
so
on. Sorry.
so I'm hosting a weekend at the Madhouse Comedy Club, and the headliner is Owen Benjamin.
Renowned
Proud
racist
boy.
Owen Benjamin.
Yes.
In
yeah.
retrospect, he deserved this. But
Yeah,
Yeah, but at the
absolutely.
time, he was, we didn't know about
You went
his
from a
opinions.
doofus to a hero in like 10 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
But so he's headlining the Madhouse Comedy Club. I'm hosting, and on one of the nights, like as a host, you bring up the headliner, you say his credits and stuff.
It's pretty much all you do.
That's your
It's your
one
whole
job.
job.
And I went, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to stage Owen Wilson, which is
I thought, now I was there. First you said Benjamin Owen, which pissed him off.
no.
And you-
That was the first time I think I fucked up his credit or something. The second
Oh, who
time
could
I said,
possibly care? He was
Yeah.
a background guy on a direct-to-video Anna Faris movie.
the second time I said Owen Wilson, the third time I said Benjamin Owens, which is closer.
Yeah, you
And-
made progress.
Yeah,
You
and then the-
approached correctly.
And then the fourth time, he kicked me off the show. He was like, "This guy is not going up."
Yeah,
Sorry.
and the next day you announced that you were quitting comedy because you were so embarrassed. And I'm like,
Yeah,
is he just upset, or was he like Bugsy Siegel? You'll never work in this town again. You've insulted the man that was on season 4 Bar Rescue.
Well, what's funny
Yeah,
is
he
that
destroyed your career.
the second, after I had said Owen Wilson the next day, we had seen each other, and he was like, telling me, retelling me his credits and stuff. He's all, can you say this one? Yeah, sure. And he's like, and remember, Owen Benjamin, and we laughed about it like we were friends and stuff. And
So He
And
really
that fucked up.
tried with you, Raul.
he did have the
Yeah.
patience of a saint, and I just,
Considering you're a brown man, and I know how he feels about that, I think he was incredibly patient.
Yeah. Regardless of his political beliefs, he made the right call to fire you, for sure.
yeah, no, I agree, and I,
And then
teared
he
up a
made-
little outside, and I was like, oh fuck, but
And then
I
he
don't know
proceeded to
what
try
it
and
was.
cheat on his pregnant wife the whole after party. Yes.
I wish I was there because I definitely thought he was hot at the time. So,
Oh yeah, he would have had Terminator vision on you. You know, that little red vision target on you.
what do I know him from? Was he like on I Love the 90s on VH1 or something? Like, honestly,
He was
I don't think
married
he
to
even made it
Christina
that far.
Ricci.
No, he was
I don't-
engaged to Christina Ricci. Even she didn't
You're
make
right.
that mistake.
Yeah.
No, he did. Like, we had him on my podcast before I realized he was a Nazi. He was on an episode of Bar Rescue about I don't know 7 years ago, and then like I said, he had a background speaking one line in a maybe video on demand Anna Faris affair,
Yeah.
and then he's just fizzled out. So fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah, he sucks. And Raul, you're actually a hero for calling him Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
You're welcome, America.
Yeah.
was he racist before that, though? Or do you think Raul was the
He was
catalyst?
I mean, well,
Yeah, he's the reason.
I mean, I think that I didn't help,
Yeah,
like
sure.
he could have been had like kind of like a like a wishy-washy
He was on the
opinion.
fence.
Yeah,
Look,
but then with
I'm
that
just
everything that happened to
saying-
me, he's like, you know what? these people need to go back to Mexico. God damn it!
I'm just saying, guys lighter than khaki have always gotten my name right. I'm just throwing it out. Throwing it out.
I remember him saying something like, because he's like he likes to play piano, and he was like he was telling us the story how like fucking frustrated and how like he's like, I hate it when I had to compete against these Asians because these Asians are so good at piano. That's what and I'm like, all right,
Yeah, I remember he hung out a lot with like open micers that weekend, and I don't know if I should even name them, but there was one Asian comic in particular that he was doing what at the time I thought was an ironically racist bit for like hours. I was like, wow, this guy's really committed to this.
Oh, and then you
Anti-Asian
found
bit.
out it was as genuine as a penny. Yeah,
And then,
okay.
yeah, years later, it was like everything just sort of clicked into place.
Well,
Oh.
if he's down to hang out with open micers, we could probably get him on the show, right? I would think.
Brittany, you
please.
make the call. Do it from an account that has your face on it and tell him I'm very discreet. I think these are all things that'll pique his interest.
Yeah, the thing is, it would be a catalyst for the start of something very bad in my life, I guarantee you. So I don't even want to go down that.
All right.
I think we were talking about the personality traits that our next person, the next person we date would be, and we were just joking about it. I forgot what Jake's was, but they were all so accurate what we said about the next person we would date. And you said that the next person I date would secretly be a Trump supporter. I think.
I said someone who previously worked in the Trump administration.
Okay, yes. And I would try and like ignore that fact about them and be like, he's changed. Like
I can
he's
change
like-
him.
6'5".
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, there's nothing secret about his admiration of that madman. So,
Yeah, so he actually wouldn't fit the bill for that.
no.
Yeah,
Now, are you
Raul-
disappointed?
No, it's fine. Ryan, would you say that you're good at geography?
Oh, it's an interesting question.
Of the United States, of the continents, like
Of the United States.
yeah, sort of, yeah.
Okay, like even that is even much better than what Raul is, because he thought the city of Chicago was in Michigan. So very.
I mean, did you think that? Did you confuse it with Detroit or?
I don't know what
No.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I
no,
just,
it's not.
I think I was just.
You give him a lot of credit by assuming there was another fact that he knew that was muddying the waters. It was just like, I have no idea. I'm going to pick a state I've heard of. I'm pretty sure it's not California because that's where I live, and I would know if Chicago was in California. This is Raul Stubborn.
Okay, yeah. Also, get out of my head, Jake.
Yeah.
You.
If you asked him where Detroit was, I guarantee you he would not have gotten that correct
Michigan.
either.
No.
Well, I mean,
Well, because I kept guessing Michigan. I'm like, one of these has to be Michigan. And
Eventually,
If it
yeah.
makes you feel any
eventually, it
better-
would have been Detroit.
If it makes you feel any better, I had a friend who I did not like his girlfriend because I thought she was very dumb. And
Does this make you feel better?
hold on. And he and I at the time lived in Orange County. This was a high school friend. We traveled to Palm Springs, California. She called to ask what time it was there. That's a 100% true story.
Well, so we are
we're
going.
about 3 minutes ahead in Palm Springs.
We were 3-hour drive away.
I don't know if that should make him feel better because we just booked a cabin in Big Bear at the end of May, and Raul asked if we would be going snowboarding.
Yeah.
Okay, I said skiing first of all.
Oh, yeah,
You
you're right.
idiots. Yeah.
Oh, you mean like cross country skiing where you don't need the snow? Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
But last week we asked listeners to send us very easy geography questions to ask Raul.
Like embarrassingly easy that
Yes.
You probably learn in elementary school.
So I did get a couple.
Fuck.
I wouldn't consider them to be, I guess, embarrassingly easy. Maybe one of them. Okay.
Well, we'll have to work to embarrass him afterwards. Then that's fine.
Okay. Do you know the capital of Nevada?
Can you do a lifeline for like a hint if you can't really get it?
Yes.
Nevada.
Mhm.
I mean, the only city that comes to mind is Las Vegas, baby. Is it Las
No.
Vegas?
It's
Now
not Las Vegas.
However,
I'm gonna
okay.
give you a hint. He hosted Total Request Line on MTV.
Yes. You're not good. Or he was like a late night god.
Well, how about this? Raul,
Leno
Name-
Nevada.
can you name any other cities in Nevada?
I don't even think I can. I know Vegas, and I know that's it. I don't know.
God, he doesn't even know that Reno's in Nevada, which is not the capital. That's
Boy, I
not the
would've-
capital.
It's
Okay.
not the capital, though.
Yes, the
What- okay,
capital.
yes.
I knew you weren't going to get this, and this is
Okay.
the easiest one.
That's the
It's-
easiest one.
Yes,
Fuck. Okay, go.
it's Carson City, Nevada, is the capital.
Okay.
Okay,
Who the-
Like
who's
Carson
heard-
Daly. That's why the
Okay, yes, I
Yes,
You
and
didn't
then-
know
get
the
it
Total
now.
Request Live either. This is a big problem.
and then Johnny Carson. You know, so
yeah.
should
Okay.
have paid closer attention.
right,
to
no,
this.
yeah.
Another question is to name. This is going to be too hard, so I'm just going to ask you to name any. But the original question was to name all of the Great Lakes.
Ooh, I wouldn't know that one.
I knew
I don't.
four.
I'm not even sure if I can name one. Hold on.
I knew four of
Lake
the five.
Tahoe. Is that?
I'm sorry. Did you say Tahoe?
he did 100%.
I wonder
I mean,
what
that's a lake,
time it
right?
is there.
There is a Lake Tahoe. I mean, I
Boom.
guess
Nailed
in
it.
that
Here.
sense, you're right.
So, do you even know what the Great Lakes are?
I mean,
They're all-
I'm aware
they're-
that there are Great Lakes.
They're near
but I-
Chicago. Does that help you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are near
Well, where do you
Chicago.
think
That makes it even
Chicago
worse.
is?
So
If you,
Chicago.
that is too much information.
It's where you
I'm
think
not even.
Chicago is.
Okay, so the lakes are in Michigan. Got it.
Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
they're all
Well,
The Great Michigan Lake.
The
Oh my
funny
God.
thing is, you're-
Okay. Okay, that's
It's
a win.
amazing. It's amazing how much you don't know this because getting this close and being like,
Michigan.
oh,
Great
what
Mich-
is it like a lake
Like
called
Lake
Michigan or
Lake
something
Michigan.
like that?
yeah.
yes, it is Lake
Okay,
Michigan.
Okay, okay,
It's
got
the
it, got it, got it,
lar-
got it. I've heard
That's
of that.
right.
I've heard of that. I got one.
That is the
So,
largest lake.
I did it, guys.
But it's not just in Michigan. It's in Wisconsin as well, because I've been to Lake Michigan before, and it is truly it's an ocean.
It's huge. Yeah.
It's an ocean.
Chicago is on the shores of Lake Michigan.
Yes, several states border Lake Michigan, but all of the Great Lakes are in the same general area. So you saying Lake Tahoe, which is nowhere near the Great Lakes, is
Very far
Funny.
away.
yes. Did any of you know all five of them?
No,
I don't know
absolutely
all
not.
five.
I knew four.
Okay, what are the other ones? Because there's
So,
I'm blanking completely.
Michigan, Lake Superior, Lake Erie, and Lake Huron were the ones that I knew.
Yeah, no, way.
Yeah.
Never even
Lake
heard of half
Ontario?
those.
Yes, that's the
The
one.
last one?
That's the fifth one that I didn't know. And then the last one was just to name alternately name any large river in the United States.
Large river in the United States. Boy, I did not think I was this bad. I knew I was like not great, but like holy god.
Literally name a state and say river after it. You
I
probably-
can think of two that are just the name of a state and then a river.
And you know what's funny? He said that aren't those two, but I know that
Yeah.
Raul cannot like so they can be one of those two.
Yeah. That's...
Missouri River.
You know what that is
Very-
one?
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
There is a
oh,
Missouri
thank
River.
Oh,
Okay.
I've been there.
oh
Yeah.
dear Lord.
But
Okay.
I mean,
I am sweating.
the Mississippi River is like a
Oh,
river
yeah.
that's famous. Yes.
How did
Yeah.
you not just know Miss? Okay, fine. I don't want to talk about it.
But you can thank Raul. You can thank Ruiz for those questions.
Okay, good. Thank
Yeah.
you, Reese, for putting me
Yeah.
into the way too hard of a test. For me.
I do think.
Oh, I have a good geography question for
Oh
him.
yeah, please.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. The last time you and I saw face to face, we were doing our road gig together. Where was it?
Oh.
Oh my God, he's thinking about it. We were in a car for 2 hours.
I know. I don't know where we were going. I like.
Were you?
just-
I hope you were driving too.
No.
No, I was
But
driving, but I mean,
I remember that day, and I remember the bar that we went to, but I don't
Well,
I don't know what area we're in.
we were
Where
in
was it?
Elsinore.
Like Elsinore.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I never
Yeah,
made-
I would have
Where
never
were
been
you
able to
last
remember.
time you saw me? Oh, I'm not good with geography.
Okay. Here, I got another basic one.
Sure.
Can you name 2 states that border California?
2 states that border California. Okay. Nevada.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Okay. Oh, I hope you're wrong
Oh,
about your
Arizona?
shirt.
Sweden.
Yes.
Yes.
I was like, I hope he
Nailed it,
gets
man.
overly confident and says something that's wrong, like
There's
Texas. or
a
something.
tip in salesmanship
I was
where
like
if
that-
you
this-
already have the sale, shut up.
Yeah, don't sell a
listen,
sold car.
I
You can-
wanted.
Oh yes.
I was hoping that'll kind of bring me back to not looking as stupid.
Yeah.
You
Now
know?
I think you're very smart, actually.
Yeah. Oh, see, it worked out. See.
Until next time on How Much Does Geography
Yeah,
Does
we have to
Raul
put a
Know?
hard close on this because I would do this for the entire episode.
I would
if we
do a
could.
whole
Oh.
podcast asking Raul very basic
Yeah.
geography questions.
Absolutely.
What else is something you don't know a lot about so we can keep that in mind for future questions?
Yeah.
I mean,
History? History?
I'm decent at history.
Okay, I'm very bad at history. So if you guys want to fuck with me, that would be a good one.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, we
like
should.
really bad.
Okay. Yeah, we should talk about this after the pod. But yeah,
Okay.
I have an idea for a segment.
Okay.
Anyway,
Shall we
yeah.
get to some reviews?
I'm excited.
Yes. Okay, so I have a review for College Works Painting. And it's a 1-star review. It says, "We have a no soliciting sign on my door, but what did they do? Come knocking and soliciting. If you want to earn my business, then respect my sign. I don't mind if you leave a flyer, but I hate it when salespeople ring my doorbell or bang on my front door. I have insomnia issues and do not need to be woken up by these dingbats who can't respect a no soliciting sign. Since I've been up since 4 a.m. and have a pounding headache and your dumbass salesperson chose to ignore my sign and pound on my door, you'll never get my business. There's a no soliciting sign for a reason. Respect that and get the F off my property. I wish I had a moat surrounding my house."
A moat.
Wow. It's a lot of rage.
Yeah.
Now, what if the flyer was for a moat contractor?
oh,
Then
and
that
then
would
they
be very.
That would be
they missed their opportunity.
You missed
That
out,
was
yeah.
Going to be their only chance to get a moat.
Yeah.
That's funny that you say that because it's like wanting something so bad, but they annoy you so much that you still won't go with them, because that just happened to me at work. There was a vendor that we were working with that has a product that I actually really, really want and need. But he was such an awful salesperson, like just beyond persuasive, like way into pushy, to where I was like, I need this and I want this, but I will never work with you. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not going to happen. He called my cell phone and he texted me. I don't know where he got my phone number from. Like, it's not in my email signature. I'm truly confused. It's not on my LinkedIn. Like, I don't know. And also never gave you permission to do that.
Mhm.
And then every time, like once we finally made the decision not to move forward to them, he kept asking like if my male superiors understood, like
Male superiors.
because the owners of the company are guys, and they were like,
No, I understand that, but
yeah.
I like how he included like, where's your husband? Like,
like I'm the manager of the team, but I was like, you know what, the owners are not putting their money into this department right now. They're putting money elsewhere, but maybe in the future, which was legitimate. And they were like, well, could we maybe reach out to them? Like maybe they didn't understand the value of like, and I was like, he like kept implying that I wasn't explaining it properly. I'm like, it's very fucking simple. I'm the only one who wants this. So you going over to my head to these guys, they're going to be like, I don't give a fuck about you. So I'm like, if he sent me one more email, I was going to send him an email that was bordering on unprofessional, just telling him all of the ways that he lost the sale and CC his CEO on it. But he, thankfully for him, he stopped responding. But whew.
When I first bought my house, I didn't realize that's public information. And so I guess every salesman from San Diego to Orange County gets alerted when there's a new home buy, and they are given your information, your name, like where you are. I had people, I was working in my garage when I first bought this place, and a guy just walked up behind me into my property wearing he was like the fucking the old guy from Poltergeist 2 just appeared out of nowhere, like, hello, Ryan. He knew my name. And like there's some services I did need. Like I needed solar panels. I needed whatever else, a home security system. I'm like, I will not reward this behavior. This is harassment.
Yeah, you do have to punish bad behavior. That's I 100% agree with that.
I'm like, I will buy something more expensive if it will not reward this man harassing me.
Yeah, I'll buy anything from someone that's not trying to sell me something.
I will call Owen Benjamin and I will ask him for a recommendation on where to get solar panels.
This is why I was a bad salesperson. Because I did cold calls for a while and it fucking sucked. Me too. And when people are like, I can handle a little bit of pushback, like someone going, oh, I don't know, maybe like that, then there's a back and forth. Yeah. But when someone's like, no, I don't think I need that. My instinct is not to go, oh, that's what you think.
Yeah.
But I know better. Well, my instinct is to just be like, all right, well, have a great day. Call us in 6 months and we'll check back in.
Jake, you did cold calls, so then you understand what kind of training we go through for that, where they do role playing and they go, okay, let's do some role playing. Here's how it's going to go. You be the salesman. I'll be the customer. You stick to the script and you go, hello, I have some new and exciting business applications for you. Well, son, that sounds very interesting, but I don't know if I'm interested right now. I understand that, sir. But if we'll just step into your office, we can discuss some of the ways we can improve your bottom line. Well, that sounds very nice. So they send you out in the field with that kind of bullshit scripting, and you get to place like, hello, sir. Get the fuck out of my fucking place. I'll fucking cut your throat. I will eat your throat out. I will fucking feed it to a dog that I don't even own yet. I will go to a pound, adopt a dog, train it, fall in love with it, and then feed it your fucking throat. And then you're like, and then your manager has the audacity to go, you didn't stick to the script, probably.
I was in fear for my life. That's why I didn't stick to the script.
That's super funny. I manage a sales team, but I always say that if you seem like you need the sale more than they need the product, you're not going to get the sale.
That's great advice.
Yeah. I hate when sales comes off, or when any salesperson come off as pushy. So like I never, ever want to train people to do that. But we don't have scripts. So that's nice too.
You're not the cuff company.
Yeah. I mean, we do role playing and we give you a general idea of what you should say, but there's no like, oh, they say this, then you have to say that. I mean, those calls, I've gotten those calls before where I'm like, are you a recording? Because I'm saying things to you and you're saying things to me that aren't applicable at all. I used to get calls like that from Disney, and I'm still not certain if they were recordings or people. Like I really don't know because they were so in that Disney character.
Shit.
Yeah. But we used to, at Raul and my house, we had this guy come by like 3 days in a row. I don't even know what he was selling. And the dogs would go fucking crazy. They were barking like nuts. We would have to get a mask because it's COVID. And then they were trying to sell something and Raul would be like, oh, we're renters. Like we don't know. And then he's like, well, do you think the owner would be interested? Like, how the fuck would we know?
Bitch, I don't know the owner.
Yeah.
It's my landlord.
We're not
hang
his
out?
personal he's not even our landlord because it's their property management company. But I'm like, stop coming back here every day. Like at a certain, like if I heard dogs barking and going crazy and you can see into our house and like see that we're having to wrangle them and stuff, I would just be like, oh, never. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very annoying.
Yeah, and that happens to us often also with even just like food drop off or like people like, you know, someone just dropping off something that we ordered will look at us, see us, but still like ring the doorbell. And it's okay, well, I just waved at you and you made eye contact with me. You don't have to ring the doorbell. I know you're there, you know, and then the dogs go insane.
I have 2 beagles, which are very loud. So on my Uber drop off, I say in big bold letters, do not knock or ring bell. Do not make any, and then like clockwork. And that I won't change their tip because that's wrong, but I will, as they're leaving, like stick my face out the window, like I'm gonna fucking kill you.
It's just, you know, you think selecting the leave at the door option is enough. Apparently it's not. I'm going to try adding it in the notes, but I guess that doesn't even work either.
It works about 75% of the time. So do it.
Okay. I'll try it.
I feel like some people think it makes you an elitist to not want to like interact with your Uber driver or your Postmates person or whatever. But I'm just like, I used to drive for Postmates and I drove for Lyft. And the last thing I wanted was to have a conversation with a customer that's like, they're a stranger. They're either going to work or they're getting Thai food or something. What are we going to fucking talk about?
You staying safe out there? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it has nothing to do with I don't even care about having face-to-face interaction with them. Like, but you have to put on a mask, and then I have to put Ender in his crate because he's going to be going crazy, and I can't open the door with him. So it's like, it's not like I'm like, oh, I don't want to see this person who's below me. It's like you're causing a very stressful moment in my life that could just be you leaving the food and going.
And by the way, if I am ordering food, I do not want to look presentable. It's because I could not summon the serotonin to put on a shirt and shoes and wipe the Coke boogers off my nose from the previous night. So I don't want to see anyone. This is why this is happening.
Yeah, you're within 5 miles of my house. If I ordered you, it's because I could not go pick you up.
Yeah. Do you know how depressed I have to be to order Taco Bell that's right next to my house? I couldn't even go through the drive-through where it does not require shoes. I am in that kind of state.
Yeah, hiring a person to bring you fast food is like that was a low point.
Yeah, because
that was a pandemic moment where I was like, oh my god, I paid a man to go to Carl's Jr. for me.
I had one
to put him in danger instead of me. You know,
I know. Yeah,
and also not only that. For this one Egg McMuffin and hash brown, I paid $25 total.
That's what I was going to say. Taxes and fees.
Yeah, I clearly don't want to have an interaction right now.
Our friend Caitlin used to get smoothies delivered to her, which I think is has to be the worst.
Just a single smoothie, nothing else?
Yeah, she would get like Jamba Juice delivered to her when she was hungover. But it's not going to be cold by the time you get it, I wouldn't think, you know.
That's what I was going to say. Didn't it melt?
I'm sure it did, but yeah, that's the epitome of not being able to go get anything is smoothies delivered. Yeah.
All right. This is a review for a place called 100% Kickboxing. This is a 3-star review for 100% Kickboxing.
Okay.
Really? 5 stars? I give them 3. I think that's fair. Personally, I took karate for 7 or so years back in the day when I was my son's age. Now he is going. I got to say, this is not your typical old world style karate. Is that good? Call it what you want. Giving them belts for going isn't exactly the philosophy you should take with your kids in karate. But hey, you do what you want, I'll do, etc. Karate is about discipline, practice, form, crap like that. It is not so much. This is not so much. Well, the kid classes weren't. Maybe an adult class brings more to the table. I'm also not thrilled with their sales tactics. We did the Groupon, 10 classes, fair price, to be honest. It was simply an activity that was going to occupy some of the summer until something else came about. We were told that this was a waste and they needed to be in a track, aka long-term contract. No thanks, pass. Anyway, 3 stars down the middle. If you are looking for something casual, this could be for you.
It's funny because that's a situation where I'm like, it actually doesn't seem like they pushed very hard. They did the obligatory, like, hey, you should go longer. No,
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
all right.
all right.
So how do they think martial arts work? Like, yeah, they said that if he wants to be better at martial arts, he has to do it for longer. How dare you?
Yeah. Also, they kept saying karate, but this is a kickboxing.
Kickboxing.
Very
Yes,
different.
kickboxing gym.
Like
I don't know
karate.
why.
Like
You're not
that's
even
you know
allowed to
it's
close your hand in karate. That's a whole different martial art.
And he said it himself that it takes patience, but he doesn't want his son to go more than 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy the first line being really 5 stars is so weird because it's like he's responding to someone else's review. Which,
Yeah.
Secondly, if you use a Groupon, the only feeling you should feel is shame and humiliation. Like when you call it a Groupon like a restaurant, you have to be like, I'm sorry. Like, what is this good for anything? So the fact is like,
Love Groupon, but I wouldn't use one at a restaurant.
I
don't
wouldn't try and flex that I used one in my review is what I'm saying. Like, well, we had a Groupon. Like, keep that to yourself.
Sure, we've all used Groupon, but you don't advertise that.
We've all masturbated into a sock too. I'm not going to go put it on my Yelp review.
So, well, some people would, Ryan.
It is weird how entitled like people that use Groupon are. Like like working at a comedy club. The most entitled people were always the Grouponers, where they're like, I came in at a discount, so you know, if you wouldn't mind treating me with some extra service.
Yeah, it's
VIP
weird. They misconstrue it for a VIP thing. Like I paid extra, I should get preferential treatment. They're like, I paid less. And like I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's a bizarre mindset. But this guy, I also thought it was funny that he was listing all of the important things that he took, and he's like, and all that crap. Like,
discipline, practice, form, crap like that. Just that bullshit, you know.
And then he's like, oh, I can't believe they're like rewarding the kids with belts for showing up. Like maybe the adult class has some more of the things I'm used to. Like, do you want them to hit your kid? Just say so. Do you think he's going to be breaking ice? Like, what do you want from your 8-year-old?
Yeah, the term old world karate was very weird to me.
Old world style karate. Like,
I thought we would be in an abandoned
Cobra
forest.
Kai.
Yeah. Maybe even before that. I'm thinking like Kung Fu Hidden Dragon shit. Like, I thought he'd be standing 1 foot on a rock, eyes closed, trying to snatch a butterfly. None of that happened.
Just arms out, holding 2 buckets of water for discipline throughout the class.
Yeah, this says nothing about what happens if a neighboring shogunate invades. What are you supposed to do then? Just leave that on the floor.
Also, whenever this guy practiced karate in the 80s, it was one of those American karate dojos that sprung up after Karate Kid and Bloodsport came out that fucking was taught by a guy in an American flag gi with a mustache. This guy he knows nothing. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, take that, Jeremy K. from Glastonbury, Connecticut.
I learned Connecticut karate in the 80s. You show me respect. I know a thing or two about martial arts.
Right, you do MMA, right?
I did. I was an amateur fighter about 10 years ago. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and because I remember you and I think it was Damien Mercado were doing some exhibition fights.
We did an exhibition fight. He did some fighting in the army, so we did a little exhibition fight. So yeah, it was fun. It was the first time I had done it in a long time. I'm like, wow, my body doesn't move like it did when I was 22. Like,
how weird.
It's like you know all the buttons to a video game, but you just can't press them.
Did you see that awful UFC injury that happened like a week ago?
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened to that. That guy was on the other side of the injury like 10 years ago.
I heard that. I saw the video of that one too. That's pretty crazy, but yeah, that video was it like made me feel something. Like I felt all tingly
Yeah.
when I watched it, so that was
Sure.
cool. But it was
Horny?
I don't
That's
know.
definitely what it sounded like you're going with this.
I don't know. Really gross videos that make me feel a
Oh,
certain
that's
way,
right.
and I wouldn't describe it as horny,
But it's
but
like,
it's like in the family.
It's a
it's
visceral
the closing of
reaction.
horny. Okay.
You have like Bizzaro ASMR, I think, is what's going on with you. Because ASMR is like you get this weird, sort of tingling sensation when people speak in a calming voice or something very relaxing.
Yeah.
But with you, it's like, oh yeah, I saw a video of a surgical accident.
Yeah.
It just put me right to sleep, knocked me right out.
I think in both cases, when you see either something that turns you on or when you see someone's shin bend 90 degrees the wrong way, both make you go, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, when he didn't realize that it happened and stepped back down on it, that was like,
Yeah.
whew.
I'm glad I didn't see this.
Oh, Jake, you would have hated it.
You guys can't see, but Brittany was fanning herself.
Because I'm picturing it. I mean, it just looked, his leg then from shin down just looked like a noodle.
Remember when you did that pencil trick that made it look like rubber when you were a kid? His leg looked like that in slow motion.
So was this the guy? I do remember watching a fight years ago where a guy, he like shin blocked, I think it's called, where he just lifted his shin up. The other guy hit his shin.
Yeah.
And his leg just kind of.
What happens is you throw what's called a crescent kick or a leg check, where your leg is basically at a 45-degree angle down. And you want to aim for someone's either calf or thigh. Yeah. If you go in the middle and kick to where their knee is, if they kind of flamingo leg back and just expose their knee, your shin will collide with their knee and give. Now, usually that'll just cause a shin, like a splinter or a bruise that'll make you fall down. But if it's at that right angle, if it's that exact spot, your shin will just snap at a 90-degree angle.
I was going to ask that because my friend was like, well, why would they even have people kick like that if it's so dangerous? And I was like, I don't think it's a bad thing to do. But my theory, because I think this is what happens in basketball sometimes when people have freak accidents, like I figured he had like tiny stress fractures that build up over time.
That could be.
And then you just hit it. And then one day it's like.
I mean, that could be. Sometimes it's the velocity versus where the angle hits. And then sometimes like going back to the angle, sometimes you walk into a wall or a door jam and you just go, my elbow. And sometimes you look down and you're like, I think that's broken. Like just because it hit it in a certain way.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just bad luck.
It's such a cool video. I think we'll use it as our clip for this episode.
There you go.
So I'm just having a bit of a memory right now. So yeah, years ago I watched that fight. I guess it was the same guy. Who is this?
Chris Weidman.
Okay, yeah. So the same guy giving the injury to somebody else years ago.
Yes.
I'm not I don't watch fights pretty much ever. That was maybe the only fight I had ever seen, with the exception of when I was a kid. I watched a pay-per-view fight of Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield.
Oh, yeah. Wow, you have a bad track record with that.
Yeah.
What a great one, I guess.
That's awesome.
You've seen legendary moments.
Just two pretty famous horrific injuries in the ring. And that's it. And then I was out. I'm like, it's not going to get better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, to see that live, man. I don't know anybody who's seen that live, Jake. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid. I don't remember it very well.
I saw it live. I was 11.
Yeah.
I'm like, that didn't just happen, did it?
I imagine everybody in the room was just like, like crazy.
Yeah.
And that was his first fight out of jail too. So you're like, oh, something crazy is going to happen. Like, I didn't think it was going to be that though. The one thing I do remember from that is they interviewed both, Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson. And when they interviewed Tyson, he was like, he was pissed at Evander Holyfield. He was like, can you believe this? Can you believe what he did to me? I look like a monster.
because he got punched in the face. He had like a swollen eye or something. It's like, you're a boxer, first of all.
And when they interviewed Holyfield, he said, "What?"
Raul, you got a review?
I do have a review. This review is for a place called Club San Diego, which is listed as a spa.
Oh.
So 1-star review from a girl named Jessica.
Okay.
Says, during the past weekend, my boyfriend and I came to San Diego for our 2nd year of being together in an open relationship.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
He went here to look for a third to join us. He met me at our hotel and told me that other people were touching him without permission. And at one point, some guy overdosed. The staff actually had Narcan on hand for times like these.
This is a 5-star
really?
review.
Really? I work in public health in Seattle. We share city health ordinances. Good luck, winky face. And now there's a response from Club San Diego.
Good luck.
Says, Jessica, you are fabricating this lie. No one overdoses at our club, and we have strict guidelines for our members. We do not have female members, nor would you have been permitted to join and secure entrance. How dare you do this and make believe at our expense?
So it's all gay thing, I'm guessing.
Yes, so I guess
Okay.
it is a gay bathhouse.
Okay, all right. Okay, I think I know about this place. Let me tell you something. I have a story for you. When I first started stand-up, my mentor was a guy named Adam Sank. He was a gay comic here in town. Raul, this predates you. And so we would hang out after shows. And all of a sudden, one night, I was staying at his house. We were all fucked up. He's like, I'm going to go to a bathhouse. And I'm 23. I don't know what a bathhouse is yet. I'm like, what is that? He's like, well, you just go in there and you turn in your clothes and they give you a key to a locker and you go in there and you just have sex with some really gross guys. They're all gross. And I'm like, this sounds amazing. I'm like, I wish, where is the straight guy version of this? This is awesome. And he's like, yeah, there's one there where you live over in college area. It's called Tubbs. I'm like, that's what that is? I'm like, I thought it was a tub outlet store. I'd passed it a million times on the way to Go Lounge. I'm like, no, that's a tub store. What are you talking about? I was like, no, that's a gay bathhouse. Anyway, so that was my introduction to it. Okay, so this dude was looking to cruise for some dick and leave his girlfriend at the hotel, and then went, I can't make it. Someone overdosed. I'm going to stay here at the gay bathhouse.
Well, according to the reviewer, like they were looking for a third, I guess, like for another guy to join, like in a threesome.
I know, but I don't think any guy would be interested.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what's confusing about the situation too, is that like, yeah, these are, yeah, and he was like surprised that like, oh, all these guys kept touching me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It's like, well, I don't know. You clearly don't know where you are then.
Well, same way my friend did. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I was just going to say the owner response was like, you were never here. I'm like, she did say she was never there. So you're not really getting her on that one. But
well, I do think that there's a little something up with this boyfriend saying, I can't make it back. Someone overdosed. I'm going to have to stay the night.
I got to save this person's life by sucking his dick.
I have to suck the poison out of his dick.
It does seem like the boyfriend kind of got carried away in a lie. That's why she's like, why were you gone for 6 hours? You're supposed to be there for 30 minutes.
He's in this hotel watching fucking expensive porn in lingerie, waiting for him to come back with another dude. By the way, awesome. You know, if I was sitting in a hotel waiting for my girl to come back with another girl, I'd be like, yee! And then it just never happens. And then all of a sudden around 2 a.m, it's like,
somebody overdosed.
Yeah, and
so I couldn't. Yeah, they had to close the street. Somebody overdosed.
I hear it. It happens so much here. They have the drugs on hand to revive them. It's really wild.
If I come home and I'm covered in cum, these guys did that without my permission. I had no say in that. I don't know what happened there.
It also sounded like she was pretty disapprovingly saying that they have Narcan, which is
Again, that's what made me say it's a 5-star review. Wouldn't it be awesome to go to a club and all of a sudden you do some bad coke with some fucking fentanyl in it, and all of a sudden I'm like, you start having a hard time, like, gotcha, king. They just fucking put something in your mouth and you're saved?
Every business in the United States should have Narcan by law.
You're not getting that with the Groupon. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, I would feel much more safe. I think that's a great thing for sure.
We have Narcan here in case you OD. Sick.
Yeah, they're saying she worked in public health too. Like, yeah, I work in public health and you're not allowed to do that. So I'll be talking to your manager.
You're also not allowed to go cruising for a third at urgent care. What's your point?
If you're, I don't know. I feel like the best way to cruise for a third is to have the two people with you. Because I would never meet just one and be like, yeah, the other one's probably okay. Yeah, exactly.
Why are they not here?
Well, I feel like if you're a couple, you have a guy and a girl, and you're looking for a third who is a woman, that could be difficult. But if you're looking for a third who's a guy who's just like, hey, do you want to come fuck my girlfriend?
Yeah, it's
like
pretty
you don't
easy.
need. Yeah. You don't need a special club for that.
That is a seller's market right there.
just swing by the Chili's on the way home, and then just be like, "Hey, I have a proposition for you guys."
You don't need to go to a special place. Go to a bar and then have her point them out.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll take you 3 tries tops. Like maybe the first guy's like, I'm married. Maybe the second guy's like, both you and me, dude. I can't. Third guy's in. Third guy is in.
Yeah, it's a pretty high success rate.
Yeah. Raul, would you be in?
The
girl's super threesome? Hot. Yeah, girl's super hot.
Probably, yeah. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Sure.
I've been propositioned a couple of times by couples. Like last time, I think I was at Courtyard, which was very
what?
Yeah.
Courtyard.
But I guess that's
the Marriott.
No, Courtyard, the dog park bar downtown.
Park.
I thought you said court. Like I was there trying to take care of DUI. Someone tapped me on the shoulder, like, let's just see in the food court.
Yeah, it's always very flattering, but it's like the girl is usually the one who makes the proposition or like is talking.
Well, I feel like that's typically the case where it's
like
if it's another girl, the girl has to do it because otherwise it seems way more creepy if it's the dude like, hey. You want to go, it's just no.
And I can be mean to a guy hitting on me, but I can't be mean to a girl hitting on me. So then I'm always like kind of going along with
understand that. So that's why we send the girl in to do the front lines.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, how flattering. Yeah, like you can have my phone number. Totally. I'll text you later. It's way harder to get out of and just directly say no in situations like that, especially when you think you're just kind of being friends for a little bit and then they drop it later and then you're like, fuck. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
And one's usually gross. It's always like a very hot girl, and all of a sudden you see the dude like, and you're like, all right.
Yeah,
the guy's just like probably rich, and that's just that's his thing.
Or
hers looks him money.
Or he got her with a Groupon.
Okay, so I have. It's just so long, but whatever. Okay, so it is a review. It's also for Millennium Park, which we did last week, but I just couldn't not do this one. Millennium Park, Raul, the park in Chicago, as we discussed. Okay,
which is in which state?
Michigan.
Yes, correct. Mm-hmm. So it says, here's the story about how Millennium Park has destroyed my life with just one visit. It all began one day when I thought I would go for a picnic in this park everyone talked about downtown. I packed up a nice lunch, crackers, salami, cheese, wine, a prosciutto sandwich with olive oil and vinegar, spinach.
It's integral to the story.
I just think it's like he packed a very nice lunch, so I want to read it. Sliced tomatoes, salt and pepper, pesto, and a pinch of love. A slice of chocolate cake with strawberries for dessert. The usual picnic meal.
Martin write this? Jesus.
I really outdid myself on this lunch and was excited to find a nice spot to sit and eat it in the park. The only problem is there is not one nice spot to sit in this park. I started my journey at the southwest corner of the park by the giant bricks that spew water all over you as you walk by, no matter where you walk on the sidewalk. Needless to say, my lunch was soaked. The cheese and crackers were no longer suitable hors d'oeuvres for my lunch. I decided that without the extra carbs, I wouldn't have to feel guilty about the rest of the meal, even though I am in great shape and wouldn't have felt bad to begin with. I'm actually a very lean athlete and have a very explosive core. I was one of the co-founders of CrossFit as a theory, and it got stolen from me and turned into the monstrosity it is today. After throwing my drenched hors d'oeuvres into a waste bin that was coated in scum, so much for bragging about being cleaner than New York and LA. Get over yourself, Chicago. You're filthy like the rest of them. I then stumbled upon Cloudgate, a giant reflective bean-shaped bird toilet. It is nice of the city to make such an elaborate place for the dirty pigeons to defecate. Needless to say, I was not going to eat my lunch near this oversized pigeon john. I saw that under the grass spaceship-looking pavilion, under the giant spaceship-looking pavilion, there was some grass to sit on. As I came closer to the only grass in the park, how can you even call it a park that barely has any grass? Anyway, this small spot of grass was roped off with a sign that said, "Please stay off the grass." It was like some kind of sick joke. They made an overpriced park with no real attractions and only one spot of grass, then closed the grass area. When I checked on my lunch, it was completely ruined from some water from the waterfall brick soaking through it. I twisted an ankle on the way down the steps to leave the park and fell face first in front of in front of a group of middle schoolers. These kids were ruthless, patronizing me. "Excuse me, sir, are you okay? It looked like that hurt." What a jerk this kid was. I'm an explosive, world-class athlete. The only reason I fell was because I haven't had lunch yet. I need to have a full meal in order for me to be at peak performance.
All right, this is satire. This has got to be satire.
I don't know.
No, this is satire, I think.
Okay. Needless to say, I went home without having my picnic. I had planned for this picnic to be quite some time and was crushed when it didn't work. The poor planning of this park and that little middle school punk ruined lunch for me, maybe forever.
What do you guys think? You think this guy's like taking a piss?
It's like, if it is satire, he did it really well because it's right on the line.
So many people write really ridiculous things like this. Like, it's not hard for me to imagine a guy being like, I have an explosive core, so I don't really need
the fact that he referenced the explosive core, whatever that means, twice. That's what pushes it over the line for me.
Yeah,
it's like,
but it was so close because Brittany's very good at catching satire as well. You know, like
and so you know what? You're right, because he didn't do satire the whole time.
Mm-hmm. He had a lot of legitimate complaints. I even took out this paragraph that had a lot more boring parts about his complaint about how much money the taxpayers spent on.
Okay, but it wasn't satire then. No, you're right.
The bean. I don't know. I think he really thinks that he thought of CrossFit as a theory and had it stolen from him.
And also has an explosive ass core. Like, Jesus.
First of all,
it's an explosive core.
I don't know. I know what
a core explodes, you know?
I know what a nice one is, but yeah, explosive.
First of all, is there anything more embarrassing than making a picnic for yourself?
Dude, his picnic sounded fucking nice.
I know.
So good.
If you're having it with a person, but now listen, I mean, we're all comics here. We've all done road gigs and eaten dinner by ourselves, lunch by ourselves. That's not what I'm accusing of being sad. The fact that you would just
that's cool.
You just that's a necessity. This guy's just dressing up the olive oil, putting it in a nice basket just to sit by himself, and he's not embarrassed.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he has like a multiple course meal. He's got hors d'oeuvres. He's got the sandwich. He's got a salad. He's got a slice of chocolate cake. It's like, bro, this is too much. That's too much.
Yeah,
he had for outside.
I mean,
a cheese plate. He had wine. He had a prosciutto sandwich.
I mean, that's even too much for two people. Like, holy God, dude. And also, but then he gets all this wet. Like, just it seemed like it'd be really easy to get your lunch, like keep your lunch dry.
You would think so. I think it's
surely he has a picnic basket.
This fucking kid said, "Are you okay?" That little piece of shit. I love that part.
I do think it's very funny though that the only grass part of the park is roped off and says "Don't go on the grass."
So I didn't. You guys reviewed this park last week. Do you have to pay to get in? What's the deal?
No, you don't
No,
have
it's
to
a public
pay
park.
Then
to
what
get
the
in.
fuck is he reviewing?
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
saying
know.
it's like expensive. Like
Yeah.
so there's
I
no
mean,
admission.
it's expensive to the taxpayers, I guess. Is what
You
it
have
is,
to-
but
Okay.
You do have to
He
pay
did
to
make it
park.
sound. Oh, okay.
But I don't know if that's what he's referring to. But the last review we did was a 5-star review, and the man loved it and was really sad that his wife divorced him and he couldn't go there with her anymore.
That was the one.
That's a
That was a
bummer.
5-star review versus this 1-star review.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got divorced over it. Jesus, have you guys ever done a review of a courthouse? Because those exist.
We've done reviews of jails, but not of courthouses.
Oh no, I didn't even know it existed. But like I had to go take care of a thing, and so I put the court into my Google, and the first thing comes up is Yelp El Cajon Courthouse 2 stars. I'm like, who?
that's a good tip.
We're
Yeah.
we're definitely looking that up.
But I mean, this guy is right. The bean sucks. Sorry, Chicago, but the bean
I
is
don't
nothing.
think it sucks, but I'm like, seeing it as you pass by is cool, but I was not like trying to wait to go take a picture with it or anything like
Right.
that.
I do like the language that he used for that. Well, it was like oversized pigeon John. I
Yes.
like that. That's good. That's good. I like that.
Taste
Oh, yeah.
very tasteful.
Yeah. I just really like Chicago in general. So
Chicago's a great city.
Well,
Absolutely.
we should go to Michigan sometime then.
Yeah.
yeah, we should go to Michigan and then drive
Huh?
4 hours to Illinois and go to Chicago.
Right. Jake, do you want to do our last review and then we'll close out?
I would love to. This is a review for the movie Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh.
Oh.
My favorite of the Mortal Kombat movies.
Absolutely. The good one, I like to call it.
Yeah.
This is a half-star review.
Whoa.
I didn't know you were allowed to give those.
What platform
yeah.
is this?
I believe it's Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The original Star Wars movie had a budget of 11 million. Just an example, this had a budget of 30 million. Where
Spent
did it
well.
go? Where did it go? They clearly didn't spend it on sets, costume, or script writers or actors. Or Cynthia Rothrock. But oh well, they don't seem to like her. One of the best female kung fu actresses of all time who could pass as Sonya Blade's double, and they said they didn't want her. I mentioned that because there's nothing else to talk about. This movie is the pits. Video game to movies don't work unless you're very good at directing and very good at writing. Most movie video games are just dumb. This was no exception. This was the worst. This is just as bad as RoboCop.
What? That's a classic. Go ahead. Sorry.
What would be really is combining the two, and I just realized they did I rest my case. So I'm going to read that last sentence again.
Yeah.
Because this is one sentence. This was no exception. This was the worst. This is as bad as RoboCop. What would be really is combining the two, and I just realized they did I rest my case.
Can I ask one question? Does anyone know when Part 2 Annihilation came out? What year?
I believe 96.
7? Yeah, because I know 95 was the original, so I'm going to say 97 sounds right.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I like how immediately this guy doesn't understand what fucking inflation is. Because he's like, Star Wars had 11 million. This had 30. That's the exact same number. Oh my God, I just dropped my phone. That's the exact same number. So it had the same budget as Star Wars. So let's just start there.
And it's exactly as good. So it makes sense.
It just didn't have a visionary director. It had some doofus that was like, they want me to churn out this softcore porn that's also for martial arts. I don't know.
They said they were like you know what makes a good video game to movie is like having a good director, having good writing, good cinematography. Like that just makes a good any movie.
That's how you make a good movie. You're right.
Yeah, just in general.
Our demographic is 10-year-old idiots, right? So make sure Sub-Zero's in there, and make sure all the girls are wearing leotards with thongs on them. Boom! You print it.
There's a scene where somebody beats up a centaur. Like, I mean, that's a film right
That
there.
is one of my favorite scenes from that movie.
My
don't
favorite
know.
is, it's Sub-Zero, but I killed you. Yeah. I'm
his brother.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know why I remember this so vividly, but I remember like when they go through the portal or whatever, Jack's always being like, I feel it's either like hot on the outside and cold on the inside, like I've been in a microwave. Yeah. Like, I just always remembered him saying that. I have no idea. I don't know if when I was a kid, I was like, wow.
And
Or
I
if
liked how legendary on-screen tough guy James Remar was rating all of a sudden.
oh my God, I was making fun of that so hard. And my friend was like, James Remar is so cool. I was like, he is cool, but not as
Usually.
rated.
Usually, yes. In the Warriors, sure. As Raiden, not so much. And you can tell that dude did not want to be there. He's like, hey, I'm James Remar. He might as well have a fucking cigarette dangling from his lips, like, whatever, lightning, razzle dazzle. Can I go home?
Yeah, I mean, you really need to use unknowns for like total unknowns for video game movies, because if you are a real actor, playing a guy from Mortal Kombat is just so beneath you.
Yeah.
Like if you're in,
because we were talking about Ryan Reynolds being Johnny Cage, and that I can see.
Okay, I can see it, but
It's
I
turned
think
the
it would
corner.
ruin the movie because, like I was saying, then it becomes a Ryan Reynolds movie and not a Mortal Kombat movie. I think it needs to be
Fine with it.
I don't know. I think it all needs to be fairly unknown people, or it detracts from everything.
It's like that old John Mulaney joke where he's talking about how Dean Cain was a rapist on SVU, and like all of a sudden they showed a lineup, and Dean Cain's in there. And all of a sudden he's like, he was half expecting the girl making the ID to go, is that Dean Cain? Holy shit, it's Dean Cain.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless they have a lot more famous people in the second one, then I just think it would be very weird and off balance. But I think he would be a great Johnny Cage.
And the Centaur starring Robert De Niro as half man, half horse. I got horse legs. I got horse legs.
this guy's whoever wrote this, I really admire his dedication to little known B movie martial artist Cynthia Rothrock. He's like, so she made like a bunch of martial arts movies in the 80s and 90s. She's not that famous, but he's just pissed that they didn't make her Sonya Blade. It's just some lady. There's a lot.
I can't stop imagining A-list actors in this next fucking movie.
Yeah.
And Daniel Day-Lewis as Cyrax.
Yeah, he retired from acting, but he's coming back for this.
My virtual net goes across the room.
Meryl Streep as Melina.
I think we've got the perfect cast.
Yeah. Just listen, give us $30 million, and I think we can do it.
Well, for inflation, I'm gonna need at least 60.
Yeah.
I wonder what this guy thought of the most recent movie.
Great question. We'll never know because I didn't write down his username, so I can't look
he
it up.
killed himself, hopefully.
Yeah, I was really arguing with someone like a couple of years ago that they were like, Mortal Kombat Annihilation is bad and you just think it's good because you were a kid. And I was like, no, it holds up. It's really good. And then I rewatched it and I was like, I was so wrong. Wrong. But I still love it, but it's so bad.
Oh, it's awful. It's an awful movie, but it's like, it's awful in a very fun and charming way to me.
Yeah.
But if I saw it for the first time today, I would have no patience for that.
And Jim Belushi as Baraka. I got these teeth here, man. That's weird.
We're gonna start closing up here.
Okay.
Ryan, is there anything you want to plug before we sign off?
I'm going to be at the Madhouse sometime in June. I don't know when. Let me check my calendar. Okay, inflation calculator for Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Let's close that down. All right, I'll be at the Madhouse June 11th through 12th doing that weekend.
All right, so make sure to swing by the Madhouse on that date. Also, make sure to subscribe on iTunes and also Spotify. And just a reminder, we are doing our $100 Amazon gift card along with some Zero If I Could merch. You can follow me personally at Raul Z Comedy and the podcast at Zero If I Could Podcast. Brittany, where can they find you?
At BitchNeH, but I just think it's funny because like each week more gets revealed about the contest and Jake still doesn't know about it, so he like looked confused by the merch part. I also want to mention that we don't have to talk about this, but I forgot that the other day I legitimately spent 3 hours in bed looking at Mortal Kombat game Wikipedias to like read the plot lines and summaries of all of them. And I just kept being like, oh, I just want to look up this one certain character that I remember. And I got down a rabbit hole of like all of the different characters,
Just
all
a
of the
complete lore.
subplots. Yes. Like,
You know, I'm so glad you spoke out because I did the exact same thing the other day. Just hours on the Mortal Kombat fan wiki, going through like there's like 80 characters. Half of them I've never heard of. Anyway, sorry.
And
We're ending
Gary
the show.
Busey as Noob Sabat.
oh my God, that's Jake's favorite character. He'd be
Absolutely.
so pissed.
Absolutely. I would love that.
Which I didn't know that was like the creators like last
names.
name, yeah, backwards combined. I did not know that.
You know who I want Nick Nolte as? I want him as the guy that goes whoop-dee. I want that to be Nick Nolte. Whoop-dee!
All right, that has been our episode. Thank you so much to our listeners. Thank you to Ryan Shores for joining us on today's episode. That has been our show. Goodbye.
I said bye too, or is that not